First of all, congratulations to the new board.
You have to state your name and address.
Rich Reynolds, 11824 Hannibal. And it's a pleasure to stand here and see 3 new board members. It's been an interesting 10 months. 10 months ago, I approached this board for the simple reason of asking to be able to pay my bill other than paper check, paper bill. There's been some movement in that area, but I still am stuck sending a paper check to pay my bill. So I'm sure that'll be addressed at some point. But the other part of that is that evening, as I do when I get involved in anything, I do some background investigation before I approach a board, a company, a prospective client, or whatever, and did some research. And it would seem that evening I traded on a few toes or whatever, because before I ever got in the door that evening, I was approached by board members, past and current employees. So when I walked in the door, I wondered what I was walking into. Little did I realize it would be 10 months of involvement in this organization far beyond what I had envisioned. That evening, I was greeted by members of the board who are no longer present in a less than courteous manner. Outright hostility, I think, would be one way of describing it. I made my comments, and as I started to sit down, the president of the board, Mike Benallo, was sitting there waving a piece of paper, demanding to know why I had not asked all the questions in my letter. And I looked at him and I said, I have not written any letter, but yet he continued to demand why I had not asked my questions. I could see it was some kind of stationery, and it was sometime later that I became aware of what that document actually was. It was a memo written by Greg Fabiziak on district stationery about this person that had called and made all kinds of demands and accusations and threats, and that maybe there was a need to have the police present. Some other board members, again, who are no longer present, had a few choice names for me. Some of them aren't exactly printable. I believe one of them called me a nutcase. Well, I don't believe I'm a nutcase, but my parents did raise me to get involved when I saw something that was wrong. And I clearly saw something that evening that was wrong, and little did I realize when I left that evening, there was already a group that was actively working to remove 3 of the board members. So, of course, I gladly provided my support and some expertise to that group in attempting to move that recall forward. In that period since then, I've gotten to learn more about this district and the politics and the people than I ever cared to. I've had the opportunity to meet and work with some absolutely wonderful people, some people that have been, I believe, mistreated, some people that have also worked very hard to support the people and the members of this community. I guess there's a couple of things. One of them is the infamous HR report, and I know, Tim, you're gonna talk about, that has to remain sealed, whatever. But that report, there must be some kind of smoking gun or something in that the 3 board members worked so hard to see that report that was paid for by the district and so involved the district never would see the day of light. I'm not asking that that report be just simply made available for anybody's perusal, but I do believe that there are methods by which that report can be reviewed by redacted or reviewed by a disinterested third party, and the salient points pulled from that and presented to the community so the community can see what was in that these 3 individuals worked so hard to suppress, and which obviously has affected so many of the employees of this district that so many of the employees of this district have left. And I guess I have Greg to thank for that memo, because had he not written that memo and had Mike not gotten in my face the way he did, I probably would have made a request about the bill and gone home and would have never seen this board or anyone in this organization again. But that's not the way it went. So that's one thing I wish the board would take a look at, is some way that in some form, the salient points of that report see the day of light, so the community can see what, if there is a smoking gun, that the board can address it. Secondly, and this goes back to Greg again, Greg is the only person in the organization that has a contract. Why did the board work so hard to extend that contract? I believe in what could be considered a violation of the Tabor Amendment to extend that contract beyond 12 months. You know,
Mr. Reynolds,
yes.
Again, I think I indicated that personnel matters, matters that this board has to deal with confidentially, and it seems like
Okay.
we're treading on
Then
that.
Tim, I will speak to the performance of said individual in Richard Mage's court. The district lost,
What?
hands down. The verdict was rendered in less than 30 minutes. I think that speaks volumes. I asked the board to carefully consider what's gone on with the employee for the last year, or the last several years, and please take action. Thank you.